Hi guys, thanks for joining me. I'm pretty excited about this. I want to show you some things I've been working on. I followed a video from Julie Fayfan Balzer on Balzer Designs. She's also a brother ambassador. I followed a tutorial that she made about making a silk screen using your scan and cut and heat transfer vinyl. Let me try to, there we go. So this is the very first one I made. I had my iron up too high, and so it made the plastic on the HTV kind of warp. So I learned to turn it down to the cotton setting. And that's the back side. So, and then this is what happened. This is the results on a piece of denim. That's my first one, second one, and third one. So it starts getting a little bit, I kept going through with the same bunch of paint, but if you add new paint each time, it'll probably be really nice and good. So that's what we're going to be doing. I made a big one, and it was nice, but it bled on the corner when I was lifting it, but I think that's probably just because I was going so fast. I was so excited. But I mean, it's not terrible. It's just something I need to work on anyways. So I thought that for the sake of this video, though, we'd just do another small one. And what you're going to need is some parchment paper. What I use is Reynolds. And I'm going to try to find links to all this stuff online and put it in my description so that you guys can find them too. This is a Stencil fabric ink that we found at Hobby Lobby. It looks really nice, and the instructions, I'm just going to read them real quick for you. Yeah, for you. It says to pre-wash fabric, paint, let dry for 24 hours, iron on high heat for 1 minute, iron the backside of fabric or use press cloth. And then it says machine wash inside out. I would just use parchment paper. I use parchment paper in between everything. With the pressing cloth, sometimes you run the risk of it getting onto your pressing cloth, and I guess it's okay, but you don't have to worry about it with parchment paper. So, excuse me, you'll need those. You'll need some organza or some sheer like curtain material. If you have an old curtain that you don't mind tearing apart, this is a great use for it. And I'm gonna do it on a tea towel, really, really cute, from Eat Supply. I got that sent to me from Amazon. And this is HTV that I bought at Joann's, but I'm going to put a link for where you can find it on Amazon, where it's a little bit easier. And this right here is, it's matte on one side, and then it's glossy on the other, okay? When you're normally working with HTV, you're going to want to mirror your design and cut it out. But with this technique that we're doing, you don't want to do that, because what we're ultimately going to be doing is taking the design, cutting it out, and then weeding that part out and leaving all the big part, all the big part of the HTV. And it doesn't matter what color HTV you use. I'm just using scraps. You're going to take the organza, iron it on in between parchment paper, and it's going to fuse. The fabric's going to fuse to the plastic, to the HTV, but it's going to leave our glossy sheet there. Okay, so once you have it fused, and you're going to know that it is, that you can tell how the fabric looks on top of it versus how it's going to look when it's fused together. So it'll be noticeable, and I'll show you too. So once you do all that, you're going to take the top part off, and then that's whenever you're going to be able to build your frame, and you're going to be able to build your frame and then do your screen print. So I'm going to cut out my design. I'm going to weed it, and then I'll meet you back here in a second. Okay, I hope that you can see. I made this cute little design using the designs already on the machine, and I'm going to print it out, or use it for the screen print. We're going to cut it out onto HTV. So the HTV is loaded and the glossy side is down. The matte side is up, but we are not mirroring. Okay, guys? No mirroring. All right? So, see you in a second. Okay. So, whenever you weed out, you're going to be weeding out the design that you created, okay? And then what's going to happen is we're going to take this, we're going to cut out a piece that fits. If I ever keep my scissors in one spot. Okay, so we're going to cut this out, and then we're going to let our iron get hot. Mine turns off after 30 minutes automatically, so I always have to plug it back in. So we're going to cover this with the organza, and we're going to kind of make a little folder for it. Okay, and that way you have parchment paper on the bottom and parchment paper on the top. Okay, make sure that your organza is covering the whole piece like that. Okay, and then once the iron heats up, all right, we can probably start using it now. I always like to start off of everything to kind of let my iron kind of cool because of it reacting with the piece of wood that I have covered in fabric down there. It kind of steals the heat, and so I think that it gives it this weird reaction on the plastic underneath sometimes, which is what happened on the screen I made before. It ruined my E and my F underneath it. So try to be a little bit conscious about that and try to iron something that's not important first and kind of let the iron do its thing. I hope that doesn't sound like a crazy person talking. Just experience. Okay, so you want to give it a good amount of pressure, but you don't have to kill yourself, you know, just be firm. If you do it bigger than, you know, 5 by 5, anything bigger than that, it's going to get really flimsy, and it didn't work out very well for me when I went bigger. So what you're looking for it to do is, instead of the organza looking like it's sitting on top of the HTV, you want it to look like it's all one piece. Like if I peel this organza off of this clear plastic, all of this needs to be a part of the organza now. Okay, so I don't quite feel like it's at that place yet, but you want to stop and check every once in a while, okay? Sorry about my dog. If any of you have bloodhounds, please let me know. This is our first bloodhound, and she is quite the dog. She's really beautiful, she's really smart, and she's very needy. Sometimes I wonder if that's a bloodhound trait or if that's just all dogs. And I'm just frustrated with her sometimes. All right, my last dog was 7 years old when I got him, so, you know. All right, so that looks like it's pretty melted in there. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna let it cool just a little, and then I'm gonna peel this off, okay? Move it away from where we were ironing, and go ahead and probably turn your iron off. I'm going to turn my iron off now. Ouch. Okay, and then we just gently want to peel back the plastic on the top. Go really slow. You have no reason to yank anything. And the benefit of doing the screen printing with the HTV is these pieces right here, these middle pieces, they stay on the screen. It's very, very cool. Okay, so that's all there is to that. So I'm going to set this aside. It's sometimes handy to have around for whenever something's stuck to you, you can stick it to that instead. All right, so we're going to trim around the edges, and then we're going to add our duct tape. And I have Gorilla brand, but it's kind of really hard to come off of the roll, but I don't know if it's because it's an old roll or not. Okay, so go ahead and cut around your edges, lay this down, and whenever you pull out your tape, you want it to, this is really good duct tape. That's the only reason I probably wouldn't use it again, because it's so strong, it's hard to get it off the roll. But you want to kind of get it to be a little bit more than this, the size of the bottom or the top, wherever you're starting. Okay, and try to be as square as possible, even if your HTV wasn't cut that nice like mine. I just used a piece of scrap that was not all that level centered. Okay. Okay. So that's the bottom part of your frame. Let's do the top. Sissy, get off of the table now. See what I mean? And then she's going to whine because I should be allowing it. The dog cracks me up. Okay. It's all right, sweetie. She sees the neighbor dogs outside playing in the front yard. And she wants to go play with them. But they're across the busy street. It's not like our neighbors on the side of us or anything. Okay, so you just want to do that all the way around, basically. Okay, so now with the piece of parchment paper, we're going to put this right up inside here because we don't want it to bleed through onto all the other layers. Okay, and now I know that the instructions say to wash first, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna be serious with you. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna kind of center it where we want it. I want it right here. Okay, and so now we're going to make sure that we have, I'm using a gift card. I'm pretty sure there's nothing left on it. And I'm going to use some black stencils, okay? And so I'm going to go through and make sure all of my duct tape is down really good. Don't want any problems. I'm running out of room and on my phone, and my dog is driving me nuts. So I'm going to try to do this fast. Okay, so we just take this and we put a big old bunch of it right there on the edge. Okay, probably don't need to use as much as I did. And then you take this and you just put a lot of pressure and you just bring it across just like this. Okay, and then you set this aside on some other piece of paper. And then you gently lift, set that aside onto some parchment paper, and there you go. Oh my gosh, I love how it turned out. And I can go rinse that screen and use it over and over and over again with whatever colors I want. So exciting. I hope you guys had fun. I'm gonna go take care of this crazy bloodhound. See ya.